All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on the live stream, and the court is calling case number 195066911, Zara Al-Wahami, and the charge is no operator's license. Also, you 5213751, same defendant, littering from an automobile. If Ms. Al-Wahami is in the virtual courtroom, please say your name for the record and please make sure your video is on. Ms. Al-Wahami. I cannot hear you, Ms. Al-Wahami. I see you, but I cannot hear you. Please turn on your audio. You're muted.
Just push the mute button one time.
Try it again, Ms. Al-Wahami. One more time, Ms. Al-Wahami.
She had it earlier, so.
She did. In the meanwhile, the court will note for the record that we can see her visually. Will the attorney representing Ms. Al-Wahami please place your appearance on the record?
Yes, Your Honor. My name is Ted Wallace. My P number is P80922. And I represent Ms. Al-Wahami, who is present via Zoom and seems to be there she goes. It looks like she's signed on. Ms. Al-Wahami, please state your name.
My name is Zara Al-Wahami.
Thank you. And Mr. Wallace, how are we proceeding with Ms. Al-Wahami today?
Your Honor, we have received an offer from the city attorney, and we would like, we respectfully decline that offer as of now, and would like to schedule a bench trial.
All right, sir. We will continue the not guilty plea of Ms. Al-Wahami. We will give her a trial date on which to return. Madam Clerk.
June 18th, Your Honor, at 9 o'clock.
June 18 at 9 a.m. and we will continue her personal bond. So that will be a Zoom connection on June 18. The same way you connected today, Ms. Al-Wahami, you will connect on June 18. If there are no questions, if you have no questions, you may disconnect. And Mr. Wallace, we'll see you on June 18.
Yes, sure. I do have one thing I want to point out is that we have we are representing Ms. Al-Wahami in a matter of the civil branch, and we're going to, I anticipate we'll have her just come to the office. So we might be juggling items, but that is a good date since we're going to be representing her anyway.
Okay, did you file an appearance, Mr. Wallace?
I believe my office did on
Madam Clerk, does that show in our record?
February.
Yes,
It does.
Yes.
It is. Okay, sir, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
All right, you may disconnect.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. And Mr. Werbling,
Yes,
your client is Marshall Akins. Case
Correct,
number
Judge.
SP 112-35401. Marshall Imori Akins, and the charge is improper license. Also SP 112-35391. Same defendant driving an unregistered or untitled vehicle, and count 2 of that same ticket, no insurance. Is Mr. Marshall Akins in the virtual courtroom? If so, please say your name for the record.
Marshall Imori Aiken.
Thank you. And who's representing Mr. Akins?
Good morning, Your Honor. Ben Werbling, P64889, on behalf of Mr. Akins, who appears by Zoom.
Thank you. And how do you wish to proceed with Mr. Akins?
Your Honor, Mr. Akins will continue his not guilty plea. He's requesting a trial before Your Honor.
All right, sir. Mr. Akins, we will continue your not guilty plea. We will schedule your bench trial date. Is that date going to be June 18, Madam Clerk?
Yes, Your Honor.
June 18 at 9 a.m., sir, and that will be by Zoom. So the same way you connected today, you will connect on June 18. And
Yes,
we will
ma'am.
continue your personal bond, Mr. Akins. We will
Thank you.
continue your personal bond. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Akins, you may disconnect from the live stream. And
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Werbling, is
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Taher your client as well?
Yes, Judge.
All right,
Yes,
case
I am here.
number SP 114-70451. Abdulem Mohammed
Yes,
Tahir,
yes, I am here.
disregarding a traffic device. And also 207-237451. Same defendant, careless driving. Mr. Tahir, if you're in the virtual courtroom, please say your name for the record. Say
Mr.
your
Towers,
name,
please
sir.
state your name.
My name is Abdul Alim Muhammad Tahir.
Thank you. All right, who's
You're welcome.
representing Mr. Tahir?
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Ben Werbling on behalf of Mr. Taher.
And sir, how do you wish to proceed?
Your Honor, I don't believe the officers have appeared with respect to Mr. Taher today.
Madam Clerk, can you confirm that the officers have failed to appear on this matter?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. No officers have appeared.
No officers, Mr. Werbling.
Right, for those reasons, we're moving to dismiss at this time without prejudice.
It is so ordered. These matters are dismissed without prejudice for lack of a complaining witness. It means the people may bring them again. The court is merely dismissing them because the officer has failed to appear. And Mr. Werbling, if you have no questions, on behalf of Mr. Tahir, both of you may disconnect from the hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day and be safe.
Thank
and
you.
your
Is
staff.
dismissed?
Yes.
Yes, sir. You may disconnect, Mr. Tahir.
Is dismissed?
Yes, sir. That is
Thank you
correct.
so much,
You're
Mr. God,
so-
and God bless you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Thank you so much. All right, Mr. Morgan,
Yes, Your Honor. On Atabuasi, we have reached a resolution, and I'm not sure if you want to hear that right now, or if you want me to write it up and take it to the court, to the Madam Clerk.
all parties have agreed and are the, well, we can put it on the record right now. We're still on the live stream. Do you want to do
Okay.
that?
I have some officers that want to be heard at sentencing.
Okay, well,
Okay.
let's do that now.
Yes, okay.
This is case number SP 107-98471, Jared Atabuatsi, Atabuatsi, and the charge is leaving the scene of a property damage accident. Count 2 of the same ticket is driving an unregistered or untitled vehicle. If Mr. Atabuatsi is in the virtual courtroom, please say your name for the record.
Jared Atabuatsi.
Let me ask this question, Mr. Morgan. Is there a retained counsel for Mr. Atabuatsi?
Yes,
Okay, that's Mr. Hochet.
Yes,
Correct.
Judge.
Okay, thank you. I got a little confused for the moment. All right, so who is representing Mr. Atabuatsi? Counsel, your name for the record.
Judge, for the record, I'm attorney Zachary Houchin. My P number is 83271. Your Honor, I represent Jared Atabuatsi, who appears via Zoom today.
Thank you very much. And I know that there are several police officers here.
yes,
If
Your Honor.
they would like, as well as the prosecutor, your appearances for the record would be appropriate now.
Stephen Morgan on behalf of the City of Detroit.
Of course.
And your officers, complaining witnesses.
Deputy Chief William Hart.
TEO Omar Miller.
Thank you.
The OIC of the case is actually in another room, ma'am.
Okay.
He's on
Do we need
Zoom
that
right now. He's on
OIC
Zoom right
report?
now.
Oh, there he is. I apologize.
Okay. And who is the officer in charge?
Good morning, Your Honor. Detroit Police Detective Derek Knox, badge number 341.
All right. Who wishes to be heard first? What about you, Mr. Prosecutor? Do you want to tell the court what the resolution of this matter is? This is the date and time for pretrial.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
The people have offered.
I'm sorry, this is the date and time for trial, not pretrial. Date and time for trial. Go ahead, Mr. Morgan.
Yes, the people have offered for Mr. Jared Atabawasi to plead to SP 1079847 count 1, 3-month delayed sentence. That charge is stated as leave the scene of an accident, property damage.
All right.
There's also a second count on the docket, and that count is SP 1079847 2. That's count 2. And that count, the people are recommending dismissal.
Okay.
And the people at sentencing, the people have 3 witnesses that I believe want to be heard at sentencing, and the people are also asking for a separate restitution amount for the property damage. And I believe that restitution amount is, I believe it's $500. I believe it's $505. Is that correct, Deputy Chief Hart?
Yes, maintenance gave me the cost of the mirror plus labor, which came out to $505.90.
Yeah, $505.90 for the record.
Okay. All right. So on behalf of your client, Mr. Hochin, is that correct?
Judge, thank you, Your Honor. That is correct. Mr. Adebowatsi is going to enter into a plea to that leaving the scene charge, the 257.618 code, under the delayed sentence for 3 months. That's our understanding. Will be a delayed sentence on that traffic matter, Judge, and also that it's going to be dismissed on that second count. And furthermore, Judge, in exchange for that plea that's been negotiated, Mr. Adebowatsi has also agreed to pay that restitution amount that's been calculated as $505.90, which will relieve the court of having to have a restitution hearing.
Okay. So when the time comes, Mr. Hochin, I'm going to let you voir dire your client on behalf of the court so that we can get the factual basis with the detail that is necessary.
Certainly.
Mr. Atabuatsi, am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Atabuatsi, sir, you've heard the representation of your lawyer. Are you in agreement with that representation?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
And sir, were you advised of your right to a trial?
Yes, I was, Your Honor.
Mr. Atabuatsi, if you were to have that trial, it would normally take place in person in the 36th District Court, but because of the pandemic, the courthouse is closed to the public. And so you have agreed to participate on the Zoom technology. Is that correct?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
Sir, did you have the opportunity to speak to your attorney about all of your rights?
Yes, I did.
Sir, did anyone force you, threaten you, or promise you anything in exchange for your plea?
No, Your Honor.
Sir, are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty because you are actually guilty?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
And sir, do you understand that by pleading guilty, you are waiving or giving up your right to a trial?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
And sir, knowing that you're waiving your right to a trial, it's my understanding that you wish to go forward with the guilty plea today. Is that correct?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Sir, please raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right, sir, you may lower your hand. And Mr. Hochin, the factual basis will be for the facts indicated in the ticket ending in 798-471. Would you please establish the factual basis by voir direing your client at this time?
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Adabuatsi, sir, were you operating a motor vehicle on April the 26th, 2020 in the city of Detroit, the county of Wayne?
Yes, I was.
Were you driving westbound on East Jefferson Avenue in Detroit?
Yes, I was.
And sir, on that date and at that location, did you operate that motor vehicle in a manner that caused some damage to another motor vehicle?
Yes, I did.
Specifically, sir, did the mirror on the vehicle in which you were operating collide with the mirror on another vehicle, that being a bus?
Yes, it did.
And following that collision between the mirror on your vehicle and the mirror on the bus, did you continue driving your car to another point where you were stopped and informed that your mirrors in fact had collided?
Yes.
Okay. Judge, I believe that I am satisfied with the factual basis as Mr. Adabuatsi's counsel.
Thank you. And court will accept the guilty plea being satisfied with the factual basis. We will also accept the recommendation to dismiss count 2 previously read into the record. Mr. Adabuatsi, what kind of vehicle were you driving?
It's a Ford F-250 Super Duty. It's a large truck.
Yes, it must have been. I'm trying to envision how your mirror and a mirror on a bus collided.
Yeah, it's a construction vehicle. Mirrors kind of stick out pretty wide there.
I see. All right. Okay. Mr. Prosecutor, at this time, did your witnesses wish to be heard? I think Mr. Adabuatsi is accepting the restitution amount. And before the court imposes the remainder of that sentence, did your witnesses wish to be heard? Your complainant or Officer Knox or anyone else who wishes the court to hear your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe that Deputy Chief William Hart may want to go first. I'm not sure, and then there's also Traffic Enforcement Officer Miller and Detective Derek Knox. I believe they all want to be heard. We'll just have to start with one and go from there.
All right, Deputy Chief Hart.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you witnessed this incident?
I did.
And you wanted the court to hear your...
I'm 95% good with everything. I would just like the actual admittance that he knew he hit the mirror. I've been doing this for 33 years. I was driving next to him, slightly behind him when he struck the bus. He swerved, changed his speed, sped back up, pulled into a gas station, got out, checked his mirror. I was off duty, did not have any gear, any prep radio. I did have my department car, so I reached down to grab the radio. After he checked his mirror, he began to drive northbound. I started to follow him. It wasn't until I activated my lights to get through that he realized he was being followed. I deactivated him. He drove down about a mile. He pulled into a lot and he waited for the police cars to show up. That is the only sticking point I have for him saying he did not know he hit the mirror. An accident happens. He hit the mirror. I'm good with everything else. I'm good with the deal. I just have a problem with the fact of him saying he did not know after I witnessed him get out, check it, drive away, and then pull over without being stopped. That's the facts that were not correct. That's why I wanted to get the proper facts on the record, ma'am.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And
Excuse me,
Officer
guys.
Miller. Officer Miller,
Good morning, Your Honor.
good morning.
I would like to agree with Deputy Chief. Matter of fact, if it wasn't for him, this would have been another incident on the city that that would have just been a hit and run. It would have been just another close and cut case. I was the operator that day, and
You were the operator of the bus?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And the fact that Mr. Atubuatsi is stating that he didn't know, I was the operator that day, and I know he knew that he hit the bus that day.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you. And Officer Knox? I can't hear you, sir. You are muted.
Uh-oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I just want to, good morning, Your Honor.
Good
Just wanted to
morning, sir.
indicate that during that time, I was doing traffic enforcement in that area. And although the deputy chief said that the defendant kind of swerved, the lane for the buses to pull over, because the bus was at a legal stop, at a coach stop to drop off and pick up other passengers. And that area is extra wide. Although the bus is wide itself, the area where the bus is pulled over at is extra wide, so vehicles can go past it without coming in contact with it. And the city is coming back. We care about our equipment. We care about our employees. And it can't just happen like this. The state where he's at, I don't know if that's allowed there, but we don't like that in Detroit. And like the deputy chief said, he needs to acknowledge what he did was wrong and how he tried to flee the scene as though he didn't do anything wrong, even though he knew it, because he checked his vehicle. And he didn't check to see if the bus driver was okay and the extent of the damages to the bus. And that's why we're here today, because myself, I care. I care about all city employees and I care about the community as a whole. And that's why I did the necessary enforcement that day that brings us here today.
All right, thank you so much. Anyone else? Anyone else? Mr. Atubuatsi has acknowledged his guilt in the plea that the court took on the record. So I don't know what he said before, but today he certainly understood his guilt and acknowledged it. Mr. Atubuatsi, are you a commercial vehicle driver?
No, I'm not a CDL holder.
You're what?
I said, no, I'm not a CDL holder, Your Honor.
Okay, so what kind of truck is this that you drive and for what purpose?
It's a construction vehicle. It's just a pickup truck, if you will, just a very large pickup truck. It's just an oversized.
Are you a construction worker?
I am.
Okay, so you've been driving that kind of vehicle for a while in the course of your employment, right?
Correct.
So well, I'm not going to ask you how it happened. Accidents do happen. That's why they call them accidents. But when you're driving oversized vehicles like that, you know that you have to use extra care and caution, particularly when you approach a vehicle that's similar in size. So is this the first time you've been charged with this offense, sir?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Okay. And the officers, this is unusual for me to have 3 officers come. So I can tell you they do feel passionate, not only about what happened, but the fact that you did not stop and take responsibility right away. And that's all it takes very oftentimes. If it's an accident, the way you know that it's an accident is that someone stops and apologizes, really, and takes responsibility for it. And if we all did that for a lot of things, this would be a better world. But the prosecutor has offered a 3-month delayed sentence. That's an opportunity for you to have this case dismissed at the end of 3 months provided you have no new charges of this nature, and provided you pay the restitution, which is $505.90 in total. Is that right, Deputy Chief Hart? That amount correct?
Yes, ma'am. That's what I was provided by DDOT maintenance, ma'am.
Okay, and so if you do both of those things, sir, have no new charges and pay the restitution amount in full, then this case will be dismissed at the end of 3 months. So how long will it take you to pay that $505.90?
This week is fine, or next week, this week or next
I
week
can
is
give you
fine.
more time if you need it, but if you can pay it in 10 days, the sooner the better. So we'll give you 10 days to pay. And then to whom does he pay, Deputy Chief Hart? And in what form do you want payment? Do you want his credit card? Do we accept his check? I think it's better that you give something other than a check.
I will reach out to maintenance and through the prosecutor to get that information back. I apologize. I wasn't asked for the price till this morning, so I was making calls while we were in the breakout room. I don't know how DDOT will accept the payment, but I will find that out. I promise.
Okay, I think we better make a return date to make sure that restitution has been paid. So Madam Clerk, at the end of that 3 months delayed sentence, we will have a review date to just be certain from the prosecutor that the restitution has been paid. So what's that review date going to be?
July 27th, Your Honor.
Okay, so that's May 27.
July 27th, Your Honor.
Oh, July 27, I'm sorry. July 27, 2021. And it will be a Zoom connection unless you have been notified otherwise, Mr. Atabutsi.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. In addition to the
Officer Knox, I got that covered. Your Honor,
Okay.
I did not hear the fine amount or the court cost imposed.
Madam Clerk, do you have that for us?
Your Honor, this particular charge, you need to.
Thank you.
Fine.
Pardon?
For this particular fine, you can set the fine for this. For this particular charge, you can set the fine for it.
There, what did you say about the fine? I can't hear you.
You can set the fine for it. Your
Oh,
Honor.
okay. All right. Okay. So $250 plus costs.
Judge,
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt. If you have the discretion to sentence on that particular motion, may I be on that particular point of sentencing? Can I be heard on behalf of my client?
Go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. I just, the people spoke and the witnesses for the people spoke. So I wanted to speak on behalf of my clients that you have a good full picture of what occurred here. First of all, Your Honor, Mr. Adebuwatsi is 30 years old and has never had a run-in with police before. I sent prosecutor a copy of his criminal history I ran from iChat, and he has never had an interaction with police. He's 30 years old, Your Honor. Never been arrested before in his life, never been in trouble. He's a professional. He's self-employed in real estate, construction, and consulting business, Judge. And the only thing I take issue with regarding the police, the fact, these additional facts that we've heard sort of thrown in after the plea is that they knew that he knew and that he didn't stop the appropriate time. Judge, when you're driving a car down the street, it happens. People can bang into things. Just because he didn't know at the exact moment when or where that happened. It's not like he, scraped the entire side of a bus and then just fled off. The mirrors dinged, then he pulled off and looked. But that doesn't mean, we don't know. We weren't there. We don't have video that shows. We don't know how close in time that occurred. We don't know that he knew exactly at that moment that he had damaged the bus that was just sitting right behind him. So, I mean, Mr. Adebuwatsi is here taking responsibility for this. And so I think that's a little bit of disparaging on him to insinuate that he was trying to, get away with something when we don't have any sort of confirming evidence that he was in fact trying to be nefarious about it, because I don't think that's really fair. Furthermore, Judge, he has agreed to pay, to the officer's point, he's agreed to pay for his mistake. He said, I'll just pay for the $505. And actually, Judge, before the amount was even told to him, he had agreed. So in good faith, he had said, you know, as long as it's not $3,000 or $4,000, I'll just pay for it. I'm sorry, it was a mistake. As Your Honor said, it was an accident, and I want to make it right. So he's here to make it right, Judge. So I would ask in that spirit that you keep the fine as minimal as he can, because he is here taking responsibility for it, Judge. Mr. Adebazi is a good guy. He's not a troublemaker. He's not in trouble. He's not a criminal, Judge. And this was an accident. He's taking responsibility for it. Thank you for your gracious time.
All right, sir. And I appreciate that. And you know, you're right. I mean, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you back into things and you hear something crunch, but you don't know that it's another car until you actually get out and see the damage. So I am persuaded that Mr. Atabutsi, I know I'm pronouncing that name incorrectly, Atabuatsi, Mr. Atabuatsi. We're not saying he's a bad person, but you do have to take the consequences for things that happen sometimes. And frankly, this really is a minimal restitution for a vehicle like that. I have done far less in my vehicle and paid far more in damages. It doesn't take much to crush these vehicles like they are toys, really. So the fact that it was only $505 is really a blessing, because normally, you know, it takes very little to do significantly, you know, costly damage to these vehicles. They look big and strong, but they fold up like origami.
Certainly.
Sometimes, you know, so your, I think the mirror, you know, I think that is a modest fee. And I think that $250 is a modest fee. That is a charge that we would impose if it were a traffic matter, a minor traffic matter. So $250 and court costs. And Madam Clerk, I'm not sure what those court costs would be. Is it something like $60 for the court costs, but the fine is going to be $250. And we don't think Mr. Atabutsi is a bad person, not at all. He made a mistake, and he's not going to do it again because he knows it has consequences. It's not like he ran over somebody and left them lingering in the middle of the street. But we do want him to be responsible in every way for things that are within his control. So with that, Madam Clerk, do we have a total?
Your Honor, so you said $250, right, for the fine amount?
Plus court costs, which I think are $65, aren't they?
Well, the actual court costs is actually, we totaled up as 190.
190 plus 250?
The court cost is 190.
Okay, so 190 are the court costs plus the 250. So that will be $440
yes,
plus restitution. So Mr. Atabutsi, sir, we can give you time, usually 30 days to pay that $440. Do you need more time than that, sir?
Yes, if yes, I can.
Okay.
Yes.
So you need more time than 30 days?
Yes.
How much time do you need?
Maybe 60. If we're going to come back in July, you said?
Yes.
So maybe 60 days is possible, if
Okay.
that's okay.
All right, we give you 60 days to pay, but you're going to pay the restitution first, and you're going to pay that in 10 days, right?
Correct.
Okay, all right. If there's nothing else, I will see you back on June 27. And everyone, thank you for your appearances, and you may disconnect from the hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm
Judge.
supposed to put in notes where he's supposed to pay the restitution to?
Yes, Judge. I just wanted to clarify for the record, Judge, if I'm happy to be tasked with making sure that that gets done as long as I know exactly who to speak to and where to make sure it gets sent so that I can get, email confirmation to send to the court, et cetera.
Okay, I think Mr. Prosecutor, Mr. Morgan, said that he would get that information. So I guess, Mr. Hochin, you would contact the prosecutor, and the prosecutor will give you that information. So, Mr. Morgan, if you let Mr. Hochin know how to reach you, so he can know how to have and how, where, and to whom that restitution must be paid.
Certainly, Judge. I'll reach out to him today. I just want to make the court aware if Mr. Morgan gets busy and isn't able to get that to me today, I want to make sure that we have 10 full days. I don't want to stick my client in a bad spot where he's told 6 days from now where to send it, and then the U.S. mail gives us another month-long delay. You know what I'm getting at. I just want to be sure that while we're on the record, I've got it all clear.
But you know what? You're right about that, particularly with U.S. mail. So if I don't know, Mr. Morgan, how can you be sure to get back to Mr. Hochin? Should we lengthen the time, Mr. Hochin, and make it 30 days?
I think that might be easiest, Judge. I really just don't want to see Mr. Adewale jammed up on some sort of procedural technicality.
Okay, we'll give you 30 days. And if you have difficulty trying to reach Mr. Morgan, you can call me, sir. Call the court.
Okay. Judge.
And I'll find him for you.
Great. Thank you, Judge, and your staff. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Your
All
Honor.
right. Now you can disconnect.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a blessed day.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. Is anyone else ready for the live stream at this time? We're still on the live stream. If someone is ready for the live stream.
Yes, I'm Carmia Andrews.
Well, ma'am, the attorney has to tell me she's ready for the live stream. Ms. Tesfamarian, do you have someone that's ready for the live stream? I don't know about Ms. Andrews. Ms. Tesfamarian, do you have anyone ready for the live stream? I can't hear you, ma'am.
Your Honor, forgive me. Alex Thomas is ready for the live stream, Your Honor.
Alice Thomas or Alex Thomas?
Alex Thomas.
Okay. All right. And what is Mr. Thomas doing?
Accepting the offer by the people.
Okay. Find his name. Okay, Mr. Thomas. Case number 194752001, Alex Corwin Thomas. This is an arraignment on the bench warrant, and the charge is no operator's license on person. If Mr. Alex Thomas is in the virtual courtroom, please say your name for the record.
Alex Thomas.
Thank you. And who's representing Mr. Thomas?
Lucille Towns Tesfamarian on behalf of Mr. Thomas. He stands mute. We ask him not guilty plea be entered, that all warrants be recalled.
So ordered. Mr. Thomas, court will enter a not guilty plea for you.
I was trying to get it all. I was trying to get it all cleared up today. That's what I'm trying to get it cleared up today.
Okay. Okay.
There is an
attorney
offer,
speak for you. Mr. Thomas, first of all, stand still. Are you the person that was at the Secretary of State's office?
Yeah, I'm still here.
You too busy for me. Can you please be still?
Yes.
Just during this proceeding.
Okay.
All right. Ms. Tesfamarian, how do you wish to proceed?
Your Honor, there is an offer. My client would like to avail himself of it. The plea is guilty.
All right, Mr. Thomas, you've heard the representation of your lawyer. Are you in agreement with that representation?
Yes.
Sir, do you understand your right to a trial?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you were to have a trial, it would normally take place inside the 36th District Court? But because of the pandemic, the courthouse is closed to the public. And so you have agreed to participate on the Zoom technology today. Is that correct?
Yes.
Sir, did you have an opportunity to speak to the attorney about all of your rights?
Yes.
Did anyone threaten you, force you, or promise you anything in
No,
exchange
Your Honor.
for your plea?
No, Your Honor.
You got to give me a chance, Mr. Thomas. I know you're anxious, but you have to give me a chance to say these things that must be in the record. It's
Okay.
a script, and I know it's repetitive, but it is constitutionally required. And there
Okay.
is a court reporter who is taking the transcript. So please give her a chance to take down every word that I say and every word that you say.
Okay.
Sir, did anyone threaten you, force you, or promise you anything in exchange for your plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
And sir, it's my understanding that although you are aware you will be waiving your right to a trial, you wish to go forward with the guilty plea today. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Please raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes.
You may lower your hand, Mr. Thomas, on the date, the time, and the location indicated in the ticket ending in 52001. Were you driving a motor vehicle in the city of Detroit?
Yes.
Were you stopped by a police officer who asked you for a valid driver's license?
Yes.
Were you able to show that officer a valid driver's license?
No.
Ms. Tesfamarian, are you satisfied?
Counsel is satisfied, Your Honor.
The court will accept the guilty plea, being satisfied with the factual basis. Is this being amended at all, Ms. Tesfamarian?
Yes, to a failure to display.
The court will accept that recommendation and amend the charge to failure to display. Madam Clerk, do you have the total? Madam Clerk?
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Total for Mr. Thomas, please.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm sorry. Plea amount is $240. He has a $45 reinstatement fee and he posted a $100 bond. But
All
if
right.
he's at Secretary of State, he probably don't want the bond applied. He probably just go ahead and pay it.
I want to pay it. I just want to just go ahead and pay it up here, whatever I got to do.
$285, sir.
All right, thank you.
You can't pay it up there, sir. You have to pay it here at the court first.
I got to come to the court first and then pay it and then come back up here?
Well, you can't come to the court. They're not going to accept it inside the court. You'll have to pay it online or at the kiosk. Yes, I don't know if there's a kiosk in the Secretary of State's office. There might be.
The cashier is open now, Your Honor.
Oh, it is? You can come in the building?
That's just to pay.
Yeah, I paid my other tickets at the building.
Okay, well, they had closed it for a time because of a COVID outbreak, but I'm told now you can come back in, so.
Okay.
All right, $285. And if they don't apply your bond, they will refund that bond to you by mail.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, sir.
You have a good
You
day.
may disconnect from the hearing. Thank you. Anyone else ready at this time?
Your Honor, I have a no officer under for client Angel Rogelio. There's no officer on that matter. It's set for trial today.
Okay, let me find the case. All right, case number SP 11007911. Rogelio, Rogelio, Angelo, Angulo. The charge is drag racing. If Mr. Angulio is in the virtual courtroom, please say your name for the record.
Yes, I'm here. My name is Rogelio Angulo.
All right, sir, can you connect with your video?
My camera doesn't work on my my phone for some reason. I was trying to here, let me see if I could try it again real quick for you.
Ms. Tesfamarian, did you give your appearance?
Lucille Towns Tesfamarian on behalf of Mr. Rogelio.
And how do you wish to proceed?
Your Honor, the officer was duly notified to appear for trial today, and that officer has not appeared. We make a motion to dismiss.
All right, Mr. Angulio, did you get your video back on, sir?
Yes. Can you see me?
No, let me see if I can see you. Okay, I do see you now, sir. The court is going to dismiss this matter without prejudice for lack of a complaining witness. It means the people may bring it again. The court is merely dismissing it because the officer has failed to appear. You're not driving, are you, Mr. Angulil? Pardon? You're not driving, are you? You seem to be in a vehicle. Are you driving? I can't hear you.
Said I'm in the vehicle, but I'm not driving.
All right, sir. Okay, this matter is dismissed without prejudice. You may disconnect. Anyone else, Ms. Tesfamarian, ready before I
Yes,
exit?
yes, Mr. Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Daniel Adams, Your Honor. I have a motion. I have a motion to dismiss on one ticket due to the age of the ticket.
Okay. It's not on the alcohol-related driving offense, is it?
It is, Your Honor, it's 13 years old, 2008 matter. We'd ask, want to entertain a motion to dismiss on that matter.
Okay, this is Z7859581. Daniel Leon Adams, the charge is operating while intoxicated. Also 163081891. No insurance, and count 2 of that same ticket is improper license. If Mr. Daniel Leon Adams is in the virtual courtroom, please say your name for the record.
Daniel Leon Adams.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Tesfamarian,
Good morning. Lucille Towns Tesfamarian on behalf of Mr. Daniel L. Adams. Your Honor, this is the date and time scheduled for trial. I understand the officer has appeared in the courtroom. I don't know if the officer on the drunk driving matter is the same officer that is in the courtroom today, but there are some other matters here, and there is a.
Well, let's find out, Ms. Tesfamarian. I see Officer Cassin. Is that correct?
Sergeant
Sir,
Carson.
your
ma'am.
appearance. Sergeant Carson. Thank you. And Sergeant, you are the officer on this case? Which one, sir? Which case are you appearing on for Mr. Adams?
Nothing alcohol related, ma'am. 2017 driving without a license, and I also had a disregard red light for him, but that may have been taken care of at a different time. I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Tesfamarian, let me take care of the matters to which Mr. Adams is pleading before you make your motion for the
all right. My client would like to accept the offer without the drunk driving charge that's part of that officer. So perhaps we need Mr. Morgan in the courtroom, the corporation counsel at this point.
Mr. Morgan?
He's in the courtroom now, Your Honor. He's on the phone and doing a lot of stuff.
Okay,
Let me-
the thing
okay.
is, Ms. Tesfamarian, even if Mr. Morgan made an offer and that offer includes the OWI, is the offer to dismiss the OWI?
Your Honor, due to the age of the ticket, we're asking that the OWI be dismissed.
I understand that, but this is my point to you. If I dismiss it without hearing it on the merits, it's only going to be without prejudice. If the prosecutor has dismissed it, it will not come back. You understand? It will be with prejudice. So that's why I'm asking you if the offer that the prosecutor made included the dismissal of that OWI.
No, it
One
doesn't.
way- It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Okay.
It
Well,
doesn't
then-
include
okay.
a dismissal. No.
Okay, so why don't we wait until the prosecutor gets off the phone? Okay,
I'm here, Your Honor. This is the prosecutor. I'm here and listening right now.
okay, so
One thing, Your Honor, I did not make an offer on that OWI. And I needed to speak to Shannon Walker on that, but I only had a ROA, Register of Actions on that OWI. And that was from 2008. And I wasn't even sure if the city was prosecuting OWIs back then, but I needed to double check that because it appears that it's a city OWI from 2008. And our policy is we do not dismiss alcohol OWI tickets. Did she leave?
no, I'm here. I hear
Okay.
you.
So so since it was from 08, it's an old ticket. I only had an
But
ROA. I didn't make
Even
an offer.
so, sir, it's set for trial today. So there is
Okay.
no complainant. So even so, if you're not ready to go forward on that,
Yes.
Ms. Tesfamarian would be entitled to make her motion.
Yes, Your Honor. Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
All right. Okay, so Ms. Tesfamarian, I'll backtrack and we will accept your motion on Z78595581 on the operating while intoxicated. Today is the date and time set for trial. There is no officer on that matter. And so your motion, please.
Thank you. That is correct. It is the date and time scheduled for trial. The officer on that matter was duly notified to appear, has failed to appear. So we do move for dismissal on that matter.
It is so ordered. That matter is dismissed without prejudice. Now, how do you want to proceed on the other matters?
We'd like to proceed on the other matters with a plea of guilty to the driving while license expired in exchange for the dismissal of the other two matters, Your Honor.
I do not have a driving while license expired.
It's written on the offer by the Corporation Counsel. It's ticket
What's the
number
case number?
173.
9 o'clock and 9:05. I'm sorry, 9 o'clock and 9:05.
That's right. That's right.
It's ticket
Mr.
number.
Adams had, he had another matter.
There's another matter. It's included on the ticket. It's included in the offer. It's 173400801.
Okay, so that one he's pleading to?
Yes, Your Honor.
So it was separated from the others. Okay, so Mr. Adams actually had 1, 2, 3, 4 matters on the Register of Actions today. Not Register of Actions, but on the docket for today.
Well, 3 were on the docket. This one was not included on the docket, the 173400801. It was not on the docket.
It
But
is.
It was on the plea offer.
It is. It's under 9 o'clock.
Oh.
It's the first matter under 9 o'clock. It was separated from the others.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So he's pleading to that one?
Yes, in exchange for dismissal of the 2 matters for 2016.
Just give me the last 4 digits of those cases.
The 2 cases for dismissal are 1891 and 1892.
All right, thank you. Mr. Adams, you've heard the representation of your lawyer. Are you in agreement with that representation?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, were you advised of your right to a trial?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand, Mr. Adams, if you were to have a trial, it would normally take place in person in the 36th District Court. But because of the pandemic, the courthouse is closed to the public. And so you, sir, have agreed to participate on the Zoom technology today. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, did you have an opportunity to speak to your attorney about all of your rights?
Yes, I did.
Sir, did anyone force you, threaten you, or promise you anything in exchange for your plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty because you are actually guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, understanding that you are waiving your right to a trial, it's my understanding that you wish to go forward with a guilty plea. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Please raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes, ma'am.
You may lower your hand, sir, on the date, the time, and the location indicated in the ticket ending in 00801. Were you driving a motor vehicle in the city of Detroit?
Yes.
Were you stopped by a police officer who asked for a valid driver's license?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, was your license expired at the time? Was your license expired, Mr. Adams?
Yes.
And sir,
Yes.
that meant
Yes.
you were not able to give him a valid license, right?
Yes, ma'am.
The court will accept the guilty plea. Ms. Tesfamarian, I meant to ask if you were satisfied first. Are you
Also
satisfied?
satisfied, Your Honor.
All right, the court will accept the guilty plea, being satisfied with the factual basis. We will also accept the recommendation to dismiss the remaining 3 matters previously read into the record. And Madam Clerk, do you have the fine for Mr. Adams?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, what were we doing with the Z ticket?
The Z ticket, we did dismiss for age of that ticket.
Well, no, it was because there was no officer.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. There's no officer. No
And this is
officer,
the-
that's right.
And this is the time for trial.
We did dismiss it because of no officer. People were unable to go forward.
Okay, Your Honor. The plea amount is $240. He has 3 reinstatement fees of $135, which is a total of $375.
All right, sir. Do you need more than 30 days to pay Mr. Adams?
Like 30 days is fine for me.
All
You
right,
said
sir.
375, right?
Correct.
Okay, and I can pay that at 36th District. I guess they say I can go in there. I haven't been in there in a while.
Okay. Madam Clerk is telling me you can on the first floor at the pay window. Otherwise, you can pay online at 36districtcourt.org.
Well, I just go down there and pay that because I don't really have a credit card to pay nothing online.
Okay. All right, sir. Thank you. If you have no other questions, you may disconnect from the hearing.
Okay, thank you.
I'm seeing Attorney Kevin Broussard.
Yes, Judge,
I can disconnect, you say? Okay.
He's what now?
we're ready.
Your Honor, may I
We're-
speak with Camilla Andrews? May I speak with her, please?
Okay, just a minute. Mr. Broussard, what did you say? You're ready?
We're ready on Christopher Terry, Your Honor. Should be a plea.
Okay.
Your Honor, may I be put in the breakout room with Camilla
I don't,
Andrews?
okay, I'll try to do that, Ms. Marion. I'm not sure if I can do that while I'm on the live stream.
All right.
I don't know if I can do that. Carmilla Andrews, that's who you're wanting to go on.
I'd really like to speak with her.
Okay, if I can put her in breakout room 2, I will try to do that. Miss Andrews, I'm gonna try to put you in breakout room 2. And I don't know if it works while I'm on the live stream. It may not. I don't think it does, Miss Tesfamarian.
All right, thank you.
So you'll have to wait until I finish with Mr. Broussard, okay? So, and Attorney Broussard, what is your client's name again?
First name is Christopher, last name Terry, Terry.
I got it. Thank you, sir. I'm sorry. All right, this is Z8080391. Christopher Terry, and the charge is operating while intoxicated. It's Christopher Terry in the virtual courtroom.
All right, thank you.
He should be, Judge.
Pardon?
Mr. Terry, state your name for the record.
Christopher Terry.
Okay, where are you, Mr. Terry? Are you visual? Can you?
Yeah, I have my video on. I'm live.
Oh, I see you, sir. I see you. Okay. All right. And Mr. Broussard, how do you wish to proceed with Mr. Terry?
Yes, today is the date and time set for pretrial conference. At this time, Mr. Terry has been advised with right to a trial. At this time, we should waive that right to enter a plea of guilty to the reduced charge of operating while visibly impaired. Is that correct, Mr. Terry?
Yes.
Operating while impaired?
That is correct, Judge. There should be a plea reduction on this matter.
Thank you. Mr. Terry, you've heard the representation of your lawyer and indicated, sir, that you wish to plead guilty to this charge. Sir, were you advised of your right to a trial?
Yeah.
Mr. Terry, you understand, sir, that normally if you were to have that trial, it would take place in person in the 36th District Court. But because of the pandemic, the courthouse is closed to the public. And so you have agreed to participate on the Zoom connection. Is that correct?
Yes.
And Mr. Terry, did you have an opportunity to speak to your attorney about all of your rights?
Yes.
Sir, did anyone threaten you, force you, or promise you anything in exchange for your plea?
No.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
It look like he got cut off. Let me see if I can call him, y'all.
Okay, let me see. The meeting room is not locked. Just if you can get him, just tell him to dial back in. Okay, meanwhile, I'm going to exit the live stream.